Every time I turn this camera on, I still feel so awkward being in front of it, and I wonder if I'll get used to that. Anyway, it's strange how quickly spring has arrived. Every year it suddenly feels like the world has just gone green overnight, as if all the plants have agreed between themselves to blossom and to bloom, and all the flowers have quietly whispered to come out all together in unison. So I think that's enough ramble from me. Let's get into this video. It's going to be a booktube newbie tag video that I'm going to do after I've done like 9 videos already. Basically, I know AI is really not good and we shouldn't use it, and everyone hates it right now, so this is kind of controversial, but I asked ChatGPT what I should do on my channel and it said do this tag. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, so first question, why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I started reading more books and I wanted to share the books I read and my thoughts on them, because I'm very opinionated on the media that I consume, whether it be books or films or TV shows or otherwise. And I don't know, sometimes like you mention like, oh, did you like this film to a friend? And they're like, yeah, it was okay. Then the discussion ends there. But for me, I have so many thoughts and feelings, especially like for some of the, like, okay, some of the films are like not as interesting, or some books are a bit like, you don't have a full review for them. But still, like, there's so much to say about media that you consume, and so many thoughts and opinions you can make of it, and it always kind of pisses me off when like people can't formulate opinions on things. And so yeah, I thought this would be a good outlet to use to talk about things like books, so that I don't have to annoy other people. But also, I don't really know many people that read in real life, so there's no one actually to annoy. So this is a good like outlet to release those thoughts and feelings, and just kind of rant about how I'm feeling about things like books. Of course, you can write essays and stuff, but you know, they kind of just get written and the thing's done with them, and it feels a bit more, I don't know, time wasty. Whereas at least with videos, like I'm practicing editing and stuff, and I'm learning to kind of, I don't know, like enunciate, put my thoughts into succinct words, and over time I'm hoping that like I become better at these videos and kind of alchemizing my thoughts into words, but that's yet to happen. I also want to hold myself accountable to reading more, and I feel like this is a good way, because in my head it's like if I do a video a month, then I've read a book a month at least. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? I don't really like this question, and there's a couple of questions in here I don't really like. Part of that is because I'm contrarian, but also it's, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird question. I feel like everyone has their own kind of unique worldviews and upbringings and things that have affected their lives. So yeah, I don't know, it's a bit tricky to say how are you unique, you know. For me, I guess I'm just going to mostly focus on like classic books, which is mostly what I'm reading right now. Maybe I'll throw a couple memes in there. That's so cringy. Although that's yet to actually happen. Most of the time I just rant and ramble. Anyway, next question. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I mostly am just excited to share what I've read and my thoughts and opinions. Of course I want to have a bit more of a community aspect to it and meet other people that read books. But selfishly, a lot of it is just I just want to put into some kind of format the way I feel about things, and this is a really easy way and fun way to do it, whilst also like learning to edit and stuff, as I said, and being succinct in what I say. Why do you love reading? I like this question. I like reading because it's, one, fun, and it can take you to different places and different worlds, and can make you think things that you would never think to think. I think some of the best books I've read are like the ones where it's challenged me on some kind of level of like, or maybe see things differently on some level of the world or of people or of relationships. Yeah, and I think those are the kind of books that stick with you and have a lasting effect on you. So I like reading for those reasons. I also like reading because it kind of pushes, I like when books push the limit of language. Unfortunately I can only read English, but I like when it pushes, yeah, the extent of what the English language can do. And I like it when books are experimental like that, and yeah, they just, again, I guess it ties into like makes you think in a different way than you normally would. I'm not very good at writing, but I enjoy writing, and I think that reading widely helps inform your own writing. So I'm hoping that eventually some of it rubs off, but again, I think that's yet to happen. What book or series got you into reading? So, this is a bit of a tricky question because I got into reading a bit when I was younger, my teenage years, and I read things like Hunger Games and like Skullduggery Pleasant, and that got me into like reading kind of more like YA books. But when I say YA books, like literally just those, mostly just those two series and a couple of the books. And then at school we read like some of the classics like Animal Farm or Of Mice and Men, and I really enjoyed that. And like Shakespeare, I read a lot of Shakespeare and I really enjoyed that. But it's funny because even though I enjoyed it, I think at school it was just difficult to kind of find time to read for me. Which is funny because I watched a lot of films, like I'd watch a film almost every single day. It was absurd. But with books I never really had the same obsession with them for some reason. So I went through most of like my teenage life not really being interested in books and more being interested in films, and it's only recently in the past year that I've got back into reading. I think it just comes with like age, and I don't know, I had a bit of a moment of like I wanted to just self-improve a bit more and kind of focus more on my hobbies and the things I like, and writing is one of them. And I thought, well, the best way to learn how to write again is to read better, so I've decided to read better and more, and hopefully that, yeah, as I say, that affects my writing and also just affects my life in different ways. And then yeah, like as I say, I started reading more like a year ago, but it's funny, the first book I read like a year ago was that Ernest Hemingway book that I reviewed, and I did not like it. But it's funny, I feel like that kind of experience of not liking it made me realise, oh actually, like, maybe the classics aren't all that. Books that are famously good, or just famously famous, I suppose, might not always be what you expect, I've learned. So yeah, I kind of wanted to see if that's the case for all these like classic books and if I still like them. And yeah, it's a bit of a toss-up, to be honest, so yeah, watch my other reviews if you want to know more about what I think about different classic books. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? Unfortunately, I don't really watch booktube that much. I just watch reviews of books, and like sometimes I watch some of these videos in preparation for this one, and sometimes I watch the ones where it's like, oh, different books I've read this season or month or something. But the problem is I don't really read modern fiction, so a lot of these kind of YouTubers, booktubers and videos don't really appeal to me as much. So yeah, I don't really have any like specific person who's my favourite booktuber. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think the problem these days with these kind of channels is it's become so oversaturated, and so many people have these channels and reviews and kind of things, that it's kind of difficult to make yourself different or unique or offer some kind of USP. So I think it's just a case of like trying to do something that takes off and speaks to people. I think that's more what I'm trying to say. Yeah, something that like appeals to people and speaks to people, and isn't just kind of an echo of what other people have done or what other people do. I think that's the trickiest thing about making videos in this modern age of YouTube. When did you start reading? I seriously started reading last year, which is kind of shameful to say, but at the end of the day, there's no time like the present, and the soonest time is now. So I've started reading recently. Where do you read? It's funny, I feel like I don't read as much at home as I should. I do read a lot at home, but I don't read as much at night as I feel like most people do. I read mostly in like cafes, or when the weather's nice I read in the park, or in nature in some capacity. Yeah, I don't really read at home as much, which is, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know why that is. But, and obviously when I'm into a book, I love reading at home because I love the book, but sometimes starting a book is difficult at home, and I think sometimes reading outside of home is easier, I don't know. What kind of books do you like reading? As I've said, I mostly read classic fiction, and sometimes I try and read like newer stuff, but it's normally like something experimental or a bit weird. And that's not to say like, it's not because I don't like modern fiction, because the truth is I haven't read modern fiction. It's more just because because I'm starting reading, I kind of want to start with the Greeks, so to speak. I want to start with like the classic books, and then once I have more of like an opinion of those and an understanding of those, then I feel like I can walk into the modern day and pick up a book at Waterstones and be like, aha, I can read this finally. As ridiculous as it sounds. Yes, that's the reason why I like classic fiction, and those are the kind of books that I read. Right, so I think that's all the questions done pretty much. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you come back here, I hope you watch some more videos. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I come across as like, yeah, too annoying or weird or like too contrarian or something. So I hope I don't come across as that. The truth is I am super supportive of everyone on this platform, and I think that it is lovely to see like people enthusiastic about books, and I just kind of want to be part of that group, and I want to be enthusiastic with the rest of you, and yeah, just enjoy this space and the freedom to speak and think and read and talk about the books that we all read. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and take care of yourselves. Bye.